My name is Ali Abdelkader. I'm an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Can you spell your first and last name, please?
ALIABDEL-QADER.
What is PSL?
The Party for Socialism and Liberation is a socialist party that stands for, a completely new political and economic system here in the U.S. that puts the needs of people over the needs of profit. And we stand for the liberation of all oppressed people around the world. That includes the Palestinian people. We want to see free Palestine from the river to the sea, and we want to see the U.S. out of the Middle East, and we want to see the U.S. out of the global South in general.
A lot of people have criticized the expression that you just used, from the river to the sea. Your response?
So I think that this criticism comes from a place of not understanding. It comes from a place of ignorance. First of all, Zionism is an ideology that believes that the land of Palestine, which is a land that was inhabited, by the indigenous Palestinian people, belongs entirely to the Jewish people. And it's not just a pro-Jewish ideology, it's actually a pro-European Jewish ideology, because Ethiopian Jews, Arab Jews are not first-class citizens in Israel. And so they use the expression from the river to the sea in a much more sinister way. They want to complete the ethnic cleansing that the State of Israel was founded on. The state of Israel was founded on the ethnic cleansing of 700,000 Palestinians from their homes, including my family on my dad's side. My family comes from the village of Ramin, and they fled to Kuwait in 1948, along with 700,000 Palestinians in what is now known as Israel, but what we refer to as 1948 Palestine, because before 1948 it was Palestine. Now, when we say from the river to the sea, what we mean is that we want to see a liberated Palestine. We want to see people who were forced out of their homes, who were ethnically cleansed, who still carry the keys to their homes to be able to return. This is called anti-Semitic out of a misunderstanding of what Zionism is. Anti-Zionists are not anti-Semites. There are many, many, many anti-Zionist Jews. In fact, there are many leading anti-Zionist Jewish organizations like Jewish Voices for Peace. I can't remember the name of a few other ones, but Jewish Voices for Peace is the main one. There's a large contingent of anti-Zionist Jews, and we are an indigenous people that is seeking to have our sovereignty restored. That is fundamentally what it is about. And I think that this is kind of erasing the history of the Nakba, erasing the history of the genocide of our people when people say this, and not conflating anti-Semitism with anti-Zionism is actually very dangerous, because we have the ADL calling our protests anti-Semitic, criticizing Israel anti-Semitic, calling what Israel is doing in Gaza a genocide anti-Semitic. And when they do that, they water down actual anti-Semitism that is happening in this country, like attacks on synagogues, like attacks on Jewish places of worship. This is anti-Semitism. This is what we need to all be united against. And we are united against that, absolutely. But by conflating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, you are erasing the Palestinian people, which is the goal of Zionism ultimately. And that's not surprising to me, but we have to fight against that.
Why are you here on this corner today?
We are here because Joe Biden is coming to Tampa. Joe Biden, who has been funding the genocide in Gaza, who has been arming the Israelis, who has supported them all the way through this process. Joe Biden, who, if he wanted to, could, with a stroke of his pen, stop sending weapons to Israel, force Israel to do an immediate and permanent ceasefire. He is complicit in this. He is complicit in war crimes in the Gaza Strip. All of the tens of thousands of people who have died, the millions who are currently starving in the Gaza Strip, he is complicit in that. And now he is coming to Tampa to talk about how he cares about women? Give me a break. He does not care about the women in Gaza. If he thinks that he's going to win Florida while he's supporting a genocide, he has another thing coming. We are here to say, no, Genocide Joe, you are not welcome here in Tampa, and we're going to remind you of that fact. We're not going to let you forget it.
Critics of protests like this will say what's the alternative to Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and that this kind of protest would might help Trump get elected. How do you respond?
I would say that Joe Biden facilitating a genocide in Gaza might not help him get elected. I would say, talking about reproductive health, I would say that Joe Biden not taking the chance to enshrine federal abortion rights while he had a majority in Congress, while he had a majority in the Senate, means that he's not trying to get reelected very hard. It's very simple. People might consider voting for him if he ends his aid to Israel. If he does not end his aid for Israel, then I think that many Palestinians and many people of conscience all across the U.S. are going to continue to see that neither of these parties serve people's interests. Neither of these parties serve the interests of the vast majority of people in this country, the working class, the oppressed people, oppressed nationalities in this country. This entire political system is broken, and we need a new political system. And that's why I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. We need a socialist system. We need a system that puts people over profit. And actually, we are running our own candidate who is going to be on the ballot here in Florida in this election. Claudia and Karina with the Party for Socialism and Liberation, who are on day one going to end all aid to all U.S. aid to Israel, who are going to shut down all overseas U.S. military bases, who are going to take all sorts of action to support the working class. We say that there is an alternative. We refuse to be held captive by Joe Biden and the Democratic Party any further.